Hi everyone, and welcome back to Learn English with Podcast. Today we have an exciting topic to discuss. Are video games good for your brain? I'm James, and joining me is my co-host, Davis.
Hi, everyone. I think you'll really enjoy this one because video games are a big part of our modern culture, and there's a lot of debate about whether they're good or bad for us. Some people say they're a waste of time, while others argue they can actually help improve your brain.
Exactly. There are so many different kinds of games out there, from action-packed ones to puzzle games, and each type might have a different effect on our minds. So, in today's episode, we'll explore the benefits and potential drawbacks of video games. We'll also introduce some useful vocabulary that can help you understand this topic better. Let's dive in.
And we've prepared a PDF for this episode, full of useful tips and vocabulary to help with your learning. You can find it on our Telegram channel. We left the link in the description.
Davis, I know you're a big fan of strategy games. Let's start with the positive side. What are some of the ways that video games can be good for our brain?
Well, one of the main benefits is that video games can improve cognitive skills. Cognitive skills are the mental abilities we use to process information, solve problems, and make decisions. For example, puzzle games like Tetris require players to think about how shapes fit together in a limited space, which can enhance spatial awareness, the ability to understand and remember the spatial relationships between objects.
That's a good example. Games like Tetris can really sharpen your ability to think quickly and strategically. And speaking of strategy, let's talk about strategy games. Games like chess or StarCraft are all about making long-term plans and decisions. Playing these types of games can improve decision-making skills and the ability to think several steps ahead.
Exactly. And let's not forget about reaction time. Fast-paced action games, like Fortnite or Call of Duty, require players to react to sudden changes in the game environment. For example, when an enemy appears unexpectedly, you have to act quickly. This can actually improve your hand-eye coordination, which is your ability to use your hands and eyes together. It's not just about gaming, it can help with other activities, too, like driving or sports.
That's really interesting. It's like practicing the brain to react in real-life situations. Another positive aspect of video games is that they can teach perseverance. In many games, you fail many times before you succeed. Think about Dark Souls, or even Super Mario. You might have to try multiple times to get through a level. That teaches you not to give up easily, which is a great lesson in resilience.
True. And collaboration is another important skill that video games can promote. In many multiplayer games, you have to work with others to achieve a goal. For example, in games like Minecraft or Overwatch, players need to communicate and cooperate. This improves your teamwork and communication skills, which are essential in both school and work environments.
So, we've covered how games can improve cognitive skills, reaction time, perseverance, and teamwork. But, like everything, there's a downside. Spending too much time on video games can have negative effects. Let's talk about that.
One of the biggest concerns is addiction. When someone is addicted to something, they can't stop doing it, even if it's causing harm. With video games, this could mean playing for hours without taking breaks, which can negatively affect your health, like eye strain or poor posture. Over time, it might even impact your social life or your work and school performance.
Yeah, addiction can really harm your ability to manage your time effectively. If you're playing games for hours and hours, you might find yourself staying up late, missing important tasks, or not getting enough sleep. This affects your overall productivity.
Exactly. And there's also the argument that violent video games can increase aggression. Some studies show that playing games with a lot of violence, like Grand Theft Auto or Mortal Kombat, might cause people to act more aggressively. However, other research suggests there's no clear link, so it's still a debated issue.
It's definitely something to think about, but it's important to remember that not all games are violent. There are many non-violent games that focus on creativity or problem solving.
So, James, after hearing all this, what's your conclusion? Do you think video games are good or bad for the brain?
I think it all depends on moderation. Playing video games in a balanced way can be really beneficial. For example, games that challenge your brain and encourage creative thinking can help improve cognitive skills, but spending too much time gaming or playing games that promote unhealthy behavior can have negative effects.
I agree. It's also important to pick games that align with your goals. If you want to improve your English, there are games that help with language skills. For example, Duolingo is a fun language learning app, and The Sims has a lot of English dialogue that players can read and understand.
That's a great point. Educational games can be a wonderful tool for learning, and even casual games like Candy Crush or Farmville can be fun and stress-relieving without being too addictive. Before we finish, let's quickly go over some of the key vocabulary we used today.
Cognitive skills, mental abilities used to process information, solve problems, and make decisions.
Nervous system, my cognitive skills, even my emotional balance, they'll all start to fray.
Hand-eye coordination, the ability to use your hands and eyes together effectively.
You also need an incredible hand-eye coordination, which is a gift.
Harder to see the ball increases hand-eye coordination.
Reaction time, the amount of time it takes for you to respond to a stimulus.
My reaction time is much slower these days.
Perseverance, the ability to keep trying even when faced with challenges or difficulties.
Perseverance, Steve. It's all about perseverance.
Aggression, feelings of anger or hostility, which can sometimes be caused by violent video games.
It's time and aggression.
Technical wizardry.
Tapping into that aggression requires peeling back several layers of yourself.
Collaboration, working together with others to achieve a common goal.
This is obviously the result of our collaboration.
Addiction, a condition where a person cannot stop doing something, even if it harms them.
Well, I don't know anything about addiction, Kelly. So would you like to help me?
Moderation, the practice of doing something in a balanced and reasonable way.
Anything in life worth doing is worth overdoing. Moderation's for cowards.
These? I'm keeping for myself. Moderation, Lois.
That wraps up our discussion for today. We hope you learned something new about how video games can affect your brain. What do you think? Are video games a good way to exercise your brain, or do they cause more harm than good?
We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to send us a message or leave a comment. Thanks for tuning in to Learn English with Podcast. We'll see you next time with another exciting topic.
Until next time, take care and play responsibly.
Bye, everyone.